Well, my name is Navin Prithyani. I am the analyst at forexwatchers.com and over at urbanforex.com, and I'm here with you guys today doing a webinar. The audio is soft. Let me change that. Okay, is the audio better now? Okay, good. If there's any issues, just let me know. I am on a foreign network out in China, so I might have some connectivity issues. If there is, don't worry. It'll probably be a maximum delay of like a minute or so. Okay, so let's get started here. We've got like 40 minutes on hand, and today we're going to be discussing a little bit about support and resistance. But before we begin, how many of you guys have been to my webinars before? Okay, all right. So some of you guys already been here. How many of you guys have been here first time? Okay, so what we're doing today is we're going to discuss support and resistance. In my previous webinars, we went over many things that you guys were introduced to for the first time, if not the second time. A lot of my methods are re-engineered methods, where we take the typical thing, we re-engineer it, and then we give you the complete information, not just the basics that is taught on the internet. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the basics of support and resistance, what it means, and how you can use it. All right, so let's take a look. Now, to you guys, what does support and resistance mean? Let's start with that. What does support and resistance mean to you guys? Okay, we'll get into the re-engineered part, Boyke. Okay, supply and demand zones, Fibonacci. Okay, important places, barriers, very good. Barriers, that's the word I like to see. Okay, so basically, to put it in a nutshell, support and resistance are walls. Okay, walls, barriers, however you like to call them. These are levels that is going to try to hold your market. Okay. Now, you can draw these walls literally everywhere. Textbook says draw them whenever you see a point. Okay, draw them there, draw them here, draw them up here. You can draw them all over the place. Yeah, but does that do you any good? No. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to discuss how you can use support and resistance with the knowledge you already know and fine-tune it. Okay, going to the basics. Okay, is my broker prices the same as your broker prices? No. Okay, all it, chump, it's not working. You're not getting pinpoint entries because my broker prices is different from your broker prices, so you will see fluctuation. You cannot aim for pinpoints. You need to look for a range. Okay? All right. So putting it in a nutshell, for a level of support and resistance that you want to see that is useful to you, you want to use an area that has both support and resistance and a big candle break. This is your key ingredient. Okay? Now let's take a look here. Why do we say a big candle break? Okay, if I draw my line up here, okay, I have my resistance here, and then I see this big candle break here. Reason why we say the big candle break is important is because the big candle break tells you that this level has power. This level has strength. This wall, if you put it in a basic language, the wall is so strong it took this much strength to go through it. A wall that's strong does not mean, oh my god, I need to buy it. It just means a strong level has been broken. Okay? So, when you look at this, and you say, okay, I have my support and resistance, strong walls, how do I analyze all this stuff? Okay, I can draw my lines technically everywhere, right? You want to look for areas that you have support and strong breaks. Okay, or resistance and strong breaks. Now, how do you refine that? Of course, as we discussed, my prices are different from your prices, and your prices are different from the next person's prices. You take it from the body, you snuggle it all the way up to the body, you get close to the bodies as possible, and you bring it down to the tails. That is your zone. That is your support and resistance zone. Okay? And you can notice the big candle that broke through, it broke through the entire zone in one go. When the markets approach this area in the future, look at the amount of tails, or the wick on top. No body is closing outside, especially in one go. That means this area has some strength. It needs some power to break through. Okay? The market goes up in the future. Again, a strong candle halts right there. Then it struggles before it goes through. Okay? So you'll see this happen again and again and again, which indicates to you how do you use these levels and understand that these areas are strong or weak. Okay? All right. How many of you guys know how the flow of the market works? Okay. Let me ask you this question that you guys can honestly answer. Do many of you guys know the flow of the market, or do you guys simply position trade? When I say position trade, is like, okay, if the market comes up here, okay, this is this area, so support and resistance. Okay, it's a trendline break. Okay, so I'm going to sell there. Okay, are you guys doing that, or do you guys know how the structure of the market works? Okay, I'm going to explain to you guys the structure of the market. Okay, one thing that you guys always want to do is follow the sequence of the market. Understand which way the market is going first, and that does not mean, oh, it's going long. And there's a delay, so can't see area cursor when making a comment example. Okay. I will slow it down when I draw something, so that way you guys can see it. Huge delay, huh? Okay, 1 second, let me turn on the VPN, maybe that might help. Okay, can you guys still hear me and see my screen? Okay, great. Let me try. Okay, let me know when you guys can see a circle on my screen. Yeah. Okay, great. It looks like it's fine now. I just needed a VPN access. Okay. All right. So when you see the flow of the market, it's not saying that this market is going long because there's a trend line there. No. If you guys are using trend lines, no. Okay. I don't use trend lines, as my opinion is avoid trend lines as much as possible. Trend lines give you nothing. They give you absolutely nothing but a visual reference. If your trades are based on trend lines, death. It is literally death. Okay? So, how do you analyze the flow of the market? Okay. Let me give it to you in a simple way. Analyze the market in a sequence. Okay? How do you do the sequence? Look at a circle and draw the absolute highest areas that you see. Okay, I have a high there. I have a high here. Okay, I have a high here. Okay. I'm drawing all the areas that pop out. Do the same with the lows. Okay, I have a low here. I have a low here. A low here. And then a low here. So when I see this, now you can understand that the flow of my market is in a downward motion. Okay? Now, if the flow of my market is in a downward motion, first things first, I don't want to buy. Okay? There's no point of buying to the sellers and giving all my money to them. Okay? So that's the first level that I want to avoid. I want to avoid simply buying in the face of sellers. There's no way I'm going to get away with that. Okay. The next thing, I wanna be aware of the key reversals in the market. Now that I have the market going down like this, the moment I get another low that's like that, it's a higher low. It's a higher low, and now you're like, this is just my higher low. I don't have my higher high yet. I just have a higher low. This is just your indication that this may be the area where the market turns. Okay? After that, you have a lower high still. Okay, looks like we're going into this pendant formation, right? If you guys like the kind of patterns and stuff. Okay, we're going into this pendant formation. So you're like, okay, we're still not in an uptrend. And then you finally get a higher high. That's when you're like, okay, it's confirmed I am now in an uptrend. Okay? I am now in an uptrend. So I am stalking only buys. So if the market does this to me in my face and comes down crashing, everybody around me is going to sell. Literally everybody around me is selling at this point. They're like, sell, sell, sell. Oh my God, sell, otherwise it's going to get away. I need to get it. It's that fear of losing it. I have to sell now, otherwise I won't have my Ferrari tomorrow. Okay? So they all start selling here, and I'm still watching that. We look at this and they're like, the market's in an uptrend. This low that it's done, it's the first lower low, but we don't have a lower high yet. So it's not confirming anything, because the market can still continue in a higher high, and this trend will just get adjusted like this. And then there goes your trend line concept. It's out of the window. Because people are looking at this like, oh, it's a trend line break, I need to sell. Well, it doesn't sell. It goes long after that. Because your trend has adjusted. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So draw your circles. Forget trend lines. Throw trend lines away. Draw your circles to get an idea so you know which direction the market is actually going. Once you figure out the direction, you can really put your support and resistance to use. For example, when you look at these areas and you're like, okay, well, we're in a downtrend. Okay? So we're in a downtrend, and I see like, okay, well, as it's going down, you can start plotting your levels. You draw it all the way up to the body. You take it down to the tail. And you're saying this, okay, big candle break. Okay, market comes back up. There's your sell area right there. Okay? You're targeting these areas only. The market may go further down, but you're targeting here. At least when you're doing something like this, imagine you have a trend line. Right? Imagine you have a trend line like that. Okay? Would you buy here in this area? Okay, you cannot. You need to understand the flow of the market. You cannot simply buy here. You will get crushed. Okay, you need to understand that even though this big candle went north in your face, you cannot just assume that, oh dude, it's going long, I need to buy. And you're buying in the face of the sellers. There's sellers sitting right here ready to hit that. Okay, so let's look at some examples of support and resistance in terms of the flow of the market. Okay. All right, direction of the market here, guys. Where do you guys see the flow of the market? Which way is it going? Okay. Up and sideways, right? Now, when you're looking at this upwards, The only way you know it's up when you have higher lows. That's the only way. Don't think trend line, that's why it's up. Think higher lows. Okay? That's how you know it's up. Okay? So as this is going higher, every time you have massive resistance, you need a strong break. Look at the strong break that's required. Market doesn't retrace enough to come back to pick you up. Okay? It pushes through, comes down, and you have this area starting to build now. Okay, remember, you only want to be a buyer. You don't want to be a seller. Okay? Your areas are building up. You have a strong area that's been broken here. The market cuts through here. You start plotting the next one. Okay? And your zones keep going. Okay? You want to be only in the direction of a buy. Okay? You don't want to be in sell. Your pivot points, your Fibonacci, your trend line, these are all support and resistance, but don't focus too much on what is Fibonacci telling me, what is pivot points telling me. Focus on the basic concept of why are they made, does Fibonacci work so well in the forex industry. Okay, if I draw my Fibonacci from here to here, and I see that's a 23% retrace, why do I know that this area is going to work? Okay, I can draw my fibs anywhere on the chart. I can sit there and draw fibs all day. Okay, put this on the left. You see this big candle break? Okay, let's go further back. Where is this area coming from? Put your line there. Okay, if you scroll back, you will see this area gets respected. Big candle break here as well. Toggle it up to your bodies. Okay? The market respects these levels again and again and again. Okay? And the more bigger candles that you have, the more intense these levels become, because there is a very strong wall, if you want to put it, that needs to be broken. Okay, everyone with me so far? Which pair do you guys like? Let's take a look at that pair, and we can do some examples. Okay, pound US dollar. Let's take a look at pound. Okay, and pound yen. Okay, we'll take a look at that as well. All right. Okay, pound US dollar currently in a massive trend here. See what we have here. Snuggle it down to the bodies. Capture the tails as well. Okay. This tail goes all the way up here. Okay. You have a big candle break. Candle break stops earlier. Okay. Blakey, why does support become resistance? Okay. Imagine it this way. Okay. This area here, you can see there's buyers sitting right here. Why do you know that there's buyers sitting right here? Because the way it left this area, the buyers take control. Very, very strong. The little sellers that came here got crushed. The buyers took control. Now, if this area that the buyers are sitting on and the sellers start to take control, even the buyers will start to turn. Okay, and that is the reason why many times you'll see the market come down, retest to this area, because that's where they're looking to enter. Okay, and those people who miss this short, they'll also look for this area to enter, because support becomes resistance that way. It is a price of interest. It is not a level of interest, but a price of interest. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so we have the markets rising and rising and rising. Okay, let's see here. Perhaps it is the new normal after a while. I mean the price level. Yeah. Wherever you see price shooting off from, you need to understand there's buyers or sellers sitting right there. Okay? So if I see this area as sellers, okay, they're pushing the market down very strongly. And I see this area as buyers. They're pushing the market up very strongly. Okay? If the market goes up here, all the way this high, I do not dare buy in this area, because this is the area that the sellers are sitting. Hence, the word resistance is made. Okay? Now, the sellers are not able to push it back down. You see that struggle here, the buyers and sellers, the fight between the buyers and sellers. The buyers take over. The buyers take over. Market comes down. This area presumes. The buyers kick in again. This area that was resistance once now has become support. Okay? Your strong areas where your market takes off from gives you an indication where your buyers and where your sellers are sitting. Okay? So when you're drawing these levels, don't just draw them anywhere. Draw them in areas where you see that there's sudden action. Okay? You don't want to draw your resistance or support here. That's a dead zone. There's nothing there. You don't have any buyers or sellers. Okay, why do you want to buy or sell when there's nobody there? Yeah, of course there's somebody there, but you don't want to look at that area. Now, when you see this area, as the market comes strongly down, okay, it starts from up here, it sharply shoots down. That's one area of your interest, especially considering there's a big candle break before that, and then support before that, and a big candle break before that. It's just telling you that this area is of interest to these bigger players. Okay, the market drops sharply from there, halts right here, and then sharply goes north. You're like, okay, well, good morning. There's something here. Okay, I'm not going to miss this area. I'm going to take it from here all the way down to my tail. Okay, once it comes down to here, the sellers, to go through this area, there's buyers sitting right here, they need to overwhelm them. They need to dominate them. And this is the reason why you have what we call a strong candle. The buyers try once again. The sellers still dominate. Take them all the way down. Okay? As they take them down here, we take this area. Why do we take this area? Because this area also had this big shoot north. This big shoot north tells you that there was buyers sitting right here that moved the market so strongly to the north. Okay, you snuggle it up to the buddies, you bring it down to the tails, and that's your zone again. The market goes down, turns around, strong candles go up and halt right there. Okay, and that's really struggle. The buyers are in struggle right now because the sellers are sitting in this area. Okay? After the fight, buyers take over. Okay, so these are your areas of support and resistance. They're very useful, especially in profit taking. Okay, if you're in a trade and the trade is running, you can pretty much assume if you're going to buy here, if you're going counter trend and you're buying, you can automatically understand that, okay, this is seller zone. Okay, this is where I'm going to have all of my resistance. Okay, it's not a singular point, like a pinpoint where, okay, well, my line should touch the tip of this area. No. Don't look for tips or points. Understand why this area becomes support, why it becomes resistance. It's because the market runs away from there. Okay? And that's, I think it's being recorded, so I think it should be clear on the recording. I'm not sure, but markets shoot away from this area. How do they rise? They rise slowly. That area is not of interest to me. Okay, they rise very slowly. Okay, I'm interested in areas where the market gets away from. Look at this area. It starts dropping from here. It shoots. Okay, when it shoots here, and I draw my line, here, I'm like, okay, if this is the area where the market shoots away from, well, let's measure this to the left. Big candle break. Oh, that means strength. Let's take it further back. Oh, support also. Okay, so we have support, big candle break, resistance. Well, you know, in the near future, respects that level. Because the buyers don't have enough strength to come and face these sellers. Remember, we're already in a downtrend. Okay? If you draw your circles get lower and lower and lower, and then finally it tries a test higher to see can it do it. And sellers knock it right back down. Okay? Making your lower lows after that, where the trend resumes. Before, if you're a trendline person, you would draw it like this, where you would be, okay, this is a trendline break. Okay, everybody buy. No, the reality is you have your higher high, but you never got your higher low. If you got your higher low, then you would assume that, okay, we're going north now. But you never got your higher low. Your low went lower again. So what happens is telling you the trend resumes. This thing just got adjusted to here. So you're still in a downtrend. Okay? This is not taught in trend lines. Trend lines is just taught touch every tip that you see. Okay? You need to understand the structure of the market if you want to stay on top of it. Okay? Once you understand the structure of the market, the next thing you want to do is stay on top of what everybody is doing, and then basically beat them. You want me to show you guys a cool trick right here? Let me show you something. Let me show you something really, really nice. Okay? You will see this very, very often where the market goes in a certain area and it starts to turn, right? You see this turn happening? I'm going to circle it. Okay? When this turn starts to happen, everyone sells. Why? Because the indicator is also turning in the overbought area. Every trading system is selling. Every trading strategy is selling. Every automated system is selling. All we need to do now, if I know everybody is selling, stops are going to be kept in this area. So what I do is instead of selling now, I wait. I wait for these sellers to get killed first. After the killing happens, then the selling resumes. What happens after the killing happens and the selling resumes is everyone's assuming that, oh, I just got on at the wrong time. But it was a sell. See, I told you. That's the mindset. It's just always, it always goes your way, but you always get stopped out before it goes your way. Well, I don't need to know a special strategy or system or technique. All I need to know is what you're doing and stay on top of that. That is the goal to winning in Forex. Money is not printed specially for the winners. It comes out of your pockets. So for me to win, I have to make sure someone on the other side loses. Okay? So, and you'll see this again and again. Whenever you're in a trend, as the market starts to turn, it'll come back, it'll kill everybody, and then it will resume. Okay? And this happens all the time, literally all the time. Do you wait for a red candle here? Let me take a look. I'm sorry, I lost the area where we were. Okay. Why does this happen, Boyaki? You're asking. I believe the recording will be available. You would have to ask the FXStreet moderators. When you're in short, not, do you wait for red candle here? Can you point out to me where the red candle is? Okay. And for you guys saying sell, stop hunting, it's not really stop hunting. Okay. Logically speaking, yes. Okay. Logically speaking, yes. Because what happens is if everyone is placing their sells here, okay, and I actually need to move the market down, let's say I'm the big player. If I sell and I have $10 million worth of profit down here, if you're selling as well, I have to share my money with you. And why do I share my money with you if I've spent 30 or 40 years of my life in making this market, running this market? Why do I share money with all these new people just walking in? It doesn't make any sense. This is why the noobs always get crushed, which is perfectly normal. And it's a bad word to say, noobs, but everyone goes through it. I went through it. Many people go through it. Every speaker at FXStreet goes through it. It's a normal phase. It's perfectly normal. Okay? It's after being killed a couple of times is when you realize that something is wrong. Okay? Most people, what they do when they get killed, they hop strategies. This strategy doesn't work. Let's move to the next one. This system doesn't work. Next one. This signal service doesn't work. Next one. But the real people who get through is saying when something fails, stop and think, why did it fail? It's not the objective is not, okay, it failed, let's find something new. Let's look for the Holy Grail. No. Figure out why. What does it make sense to you? Do you analyze trades? If you just do that one part, you will start to see a change. All right, let's see. Please show a process of a typical trade you would take, including details of trend, entry, and exit. Oh, well, you want a whole trading system. Okay, let's do it. No problem. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay. All right, let me remove this indicator because indicators are not needed. Okay. One of the things I do is something called the pro trading strategy. I insert nothing but pivot points. Okay. Pivot points are of interest to me, if I have them. Oh, great. Don't have them on the screen. Okay. Pivot points are of interest to me, and whenever I have my pivot points plotted, okay, I make sure I look for 3 days worth of pivot points, never 1 day. Okay, because 3 days worth of pivot points gives me the overall view for support and resistance. It doesn't give me just one view. Okay, it gives me the overall view. So same thing with pivot points. Many people say, okay, pivot points, you draw your pivot points for today, and then you buy or sell according to where the market is above or below. Okay, that's only half the information. Okay, the real information lies in the strength of the pivot points that happened yesterday and day before. What is pivot points? It's the average of the previous day. Why are we disregarding the day before that? Okay, so use at least 3 days worth of pivot points and tell me the difference yourselves. You guys can tell me on the next webinar how strong you'll see the differences. Okay. Always remember, if you just stop and think what is going on or what something is being taught, you will see the difference. Okay? If you look at your stochastics or your RSI, it's all the bloody same thing. It's just repackaged, renamed, and resold. Okay? So you need to really forget all these things and look at the basic knowledge. What are they telling you? Go with that. Okay? So, to answer your question for the trading strategy, buddy, unfortunately, I can't show you a complete trading strategy. I don't have the pivots right here. You can get pivots from FXStreet. They have a nice page there that shows you pivots every day. And you can use that calculator there if you have. Fibs is important. I will tell you one thing. Fibs is the same thing as support and resistance. Okay? Let's look at it this way. My fib lines. If I go like this, did my fibs work? Okay. You assume this area, 20, 38, 23%, 38%, whatever. What if I draw a line from up here? Then it looks like it worked. What if I draw my line higher? I can do this all day long. Okay? With fibs, it's the matter of where you draw them, and you will always be correct. But can you draw them in the right areas every single time? Okay? Look, it's the knowledge that I know, or you know. Okay, imagine I use fib all day long. You know I'm using my fibs and I'm waiting for a 50% retracement. The moment I see 50% retracement, I am entering because I start to see a curve like this happen. And I'm putting my stops right above. I'm like, this is a 50% retracement. It's starting to go down. I am selling. I have my whole life on this. I am selling. It's a sure shot. I'm going to publish this on all my social networks so people can realize how cool I am. They start selling with their stops right above here, and all I need to know is, okay, everybody's going to sell here because it's a 50% retracement, plus their stops are right over here. Okay, so let's wait for them to get killed first. And then I get in. That is the golden key, is to know everything. There's not... Learning is a very good thing because it helps you to know what not to use. Learning is very, very good. Okay? I myself attend a lot of these FXStreet webinars myself. I want to see what's hot in the market. What is new? What are the people looking at? Okay? Does everyone understand that concept? That it's the killing that gets the trade going. You will never get a fuel in the trade until people get killed first. Or stopped. That's a nicer way to put it. Okay? Hey, how did you know that was not the right time to sell before when the sellers were taken up before selling again? Okay. There's 4 minutes left to this webinar. I usually do a small promotion towards the end, but tell you what, I'm going to skip the promotion this time, and I'm going to get straight in. I have to use those next 4 minutes to tell you guys why I know certain levels work or do not work. One thing, I'm going to explain to you guys. Markets move in swing patterns. Okay? When you see a market moving in a certain area, you will see a leg 1, you will see a leg 2, and then a test, where the then end will die. Okay? Leg 1, leg 2, and a test. Or leg 3 and a test. Never 4. Okay, the markets moves in these flows. Take a look at this. How big is leg 2 compared to leg 1? Gradually gets weaker, doesn't it? From leg 2 to leg 3? When you understand this flow of the market, you know that if you're getting a buy over here, you have chance. You have a flow to gain. If you're buying for your second leg. If you have a buy here on your third leg, where my arrow is now at, you will see that even though the trade might work, you will not get much profit out of this. You can't expect a home run. Does that make sense? So in your spare time, check out this concept of following the way the market comes in legs. Okay? Your legs preceding will always get weaker and weaker and weaker because there's not much buying strength left or selling strength left. Okay? There is no leg 4 and 5. Leg 4 comes very, very rarely. Consider it like a 4-leaf clover. Think of it like that. If you find it, super lucky. Okay? So 5 is not going to be there. And 3 is already asking too much. It's 2 and a test that I always look at. And I'm like, okay, now it's dead. For this trend to continue north, it needs to sideline. It needs to go sideways, refresh itself before it continues again. Because it can continue, right? Pound can still go on for like days. It needs to do this 1, 2.5, or 1, 2, 3, sideline, refresh itself, and then proceed. Okay? Alright guys, that's all the time I have. If any of you guys do get a chance, do join us in our daily conference room at forexwatchers.com. Just let us know you're from FXStreet and we'll get you a 40% discount. Thank you all for attending. This is Navin Prithyani from forexwatchers.com, and once again, thank you FXStreet for preparing these webinars for everyone. Okay? Have a great day, guys.